a little bit of a turret battle, I think.
Kind of. I definitely think that in terms of like how the two characters interact, I feel like that Peach would be the one who would be more likely to try to close space, albeit slowly. But it's like, because like she has a projectile turn-ups, which is like okay, but I feel like one of Term's biggest advantages is just how good it is for Peach to be able to take space with it. And then Samus, I feel like feels more comfortable like retreating, baiting in options, and then like like his projectiles are like, you know, not strong for going in, but really strong like for just keeping the position.
Right. Now, I seem to remember there was a weird interaction between turn-ups and missiles. Do you remember how that works?
I don't. I would probably assume that like, I feel like that they would clank and then like the turn would sort of like flow in midair, and then like the missiles would just like blow up on impact.
Okay.
But we'll probably see like what actually happens in the course of the set.
Yeah, I seem to remember there being something funky with that. So far, it seems like HugS is choosing not to shoot a lot of missiles early. Usually using those missiles coming down from the side platforms. I do think another thing that's going to be really interesting to see in this matchup is how the Peach uses her float. Because, so in Falco Peach, right, the Peach wants to float above where Falco can do his lasers. And I wonder if we'll see some of the same stuff there with the, again, an anti-missile game.
Yeah.
So far, as we kind of expected, it's a bit of a slower matchup. We finally get our first kill there after over a full minute.
I think this is really where HugS might start to put in work. Usually it's like the first stock with Hugo can be like quite close and like kind of a nail biter, but usually what happens is that as the match drags on, Hugo drags his lead out more and more.
Yeah, HugS one of the best players at not dying.
Yes.
Right? Like he just stays alive. You're just like, wait a second, I had you at 130 like 2.5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Why are you not dead? A missed recovery by HugS is going to lose him the second stock, and now he's down a bit.
I like how the Peach is playing. Notices that he got a lead and is like playing really patiently until like Hugo burns out his invincibility.
Another nice nair. Peach seeming to have a little bit of trouble finding her way back. HugS doing a lot of coverage, option coverage there. A nice down tilt to catch that dare coming down from the float. Oh, that up B, how did that hit?
It was very close. I thought he was going to get down smash at that point. Oh,
nice.
It's a great charge
get-up
shot.
attack. One of the things that's really tricky about Samus's up B is it does actually have some invincibility frames on the startup. So I think actually, if it wasn't for that invincibility, the Peach's attack would have actually hit, but he got through it because of the invincibility and then was able to catch the extended hurt box afterwards.
And that's why Samus's up B is like such a great, like sort of if you whiff an option like really close to the enemy, it's a good escape option.
And also why it's really strong out of shield, right?
Yes.
Because their next thing, like their next thing to try to keep the pressure up, you get out of it in a lot of cases with that invincibility on startup. Another back air, and Hugo has reclaimed the lead. So as this set has kind of, or this game has proceeded, it seems like we've gotten a little bit more octane from both players. Neither one really seems content to sit back.
Yes. I think it makes sense. I feel like that Hugo's comfort zone is like sort of in the space around where like he can threaten with F tilt and dash attack, and like he does a really good job of mixing those two in, and then like being really precise with his like spacing to make sure that like he'll bait something with like with how slow the options are, but then outspace anything the opponent can do to as a punish.
I think one of HugS' like one of the things he's really the best at is being able to maintain a spacing that he wants, right? Like he finds that spacing and then he just stays there. You move forward, he moves forward. You move back, he moves back. And he just holds you in that spot. And it's so threatening and challenging, and he just loves to like find that spacing and stay there. So I think that's a little bit of what he's doing to Peach.
I think it, in a way, reflects his personality a lot too. He's a very like I feel like he's always like even like say friendlies, he's like always like playing his hardest to try to win as hard as possible, and I feel like a big part of that has contributed to his gameplay, where he just wants to keep control the entire time.
And again, one of the things I think we're seeing a lot so far in this match is Hugo doing a great job of cleaning up stocks. Oftentimes, Peach is really hard to. Oh, nice dash attack.
That's it. Wow.
That was a sick pressure string right there. It wasn't like true pressure, like the Peach could have gotten out, but he was just so threatening the whole time. He shoots that fully charged charge shot that would have killed, and he waits just long enough and then goes for the dash attack right as the Peach is dropping it.
That's definitely another one of the things that I would think really makes Hugo as a player. He really loves to be in that spot where, like, he's not directly pressuring you, but he's in a space, he's like covering the space where it feels so threatening to do anything against him that, like, eventually you kind of crack and try to do something, but he still manages to cover it somehow.
Yeah, and he finds those timings just right. You know, it's the Peach is waiting, the Peach is waiting, the Peach is waiting, and then as soon as she decides, I think she like jumped out of shield there, and like it just seems like he knew, right? He gets that dash attack so fast. It's just tough. Looks like we go back to Battlefield for game 2.
I feel like,
yeah, I mean,
it's not a bad stage.
You don't want, like, usually Peach wants to go to those huge stages so she lives forever, but Samus lives forever too, and you don't want that either way. So I definitely understand what the thought process was there.
That's true, actually. I'm trying to think about how stage striking usually works, like, say for example, between like Hugo and MacD. But I think Battlefield's definitely like a spot where it's just like, it's not good, it's not bad, and if you want to just focus on like playing better against your opponent, it's not a bad pick to go against.
Yeah. Nice. I think a lot of people like to see you switch up if you lose game 1 and go to a different stage. But if you feel like you understand why you lost and you can make the changes you need, why add another variable, right? Let's keep things as similar as possible and just make the changes you need to make and not worry about anything like stage to change things up.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Again, HugS finding exactly the right way to cover Peach's recovery options and to clean up those edge guards. I think Peaches are usually much more used to getting more chances to get back, and HugS just really shutting that down.
This is a generally recurring thing with Hugo, I feel like, where it's like the first games and the first couple stocks like look very like close between him and the other player, and then it's just as the match goes along, like it's almost like a meme where he adapts to his opponent and then like really starts like doing everything possible to beat them.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the first time I played HugS, I took the first stock and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I did it. I took the stock before him. This is great. And then I just get 3 stock getting like 20%. I'm like, wait, what happened?
Yeah, exactly. What happened?
Oh, that down smash would have been so sick if it worked. Again, Hugo finding a lot of clean nairs and F-tilts, just sticking those long legs out there with Peach finding very little response.
You know, just to go back to like a previous thing we we're talking about, where like it's like players who play like lower tier characters, they have to like really be on point with like, you know, what type of reads they make, what type of decision they make, and even if it's like a risky decision that most people wouldn't think to take, they have to take it because of the character they're doing. I feel like Hugo in a way embodies that, even though he plays like so safe. It's like he does it so that eventually out of that safe pressure, he finds the one option that will just beat you, and he knows like, and it's like he learns really fast and he's very on point about saying, okay, I know exactly what you're going to do, and I'm going to pick right now the option that will beat it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's really interesting to see the way that he does it, because he does go for committal stuff, and I think a lot of people don't give him enough credit for that, because, you know, when it comes down to it, he'll throw out that, like, dangerous option that, you know, if it doesn't work, he's screwed. It's just that he's so good at figuring out when it's going to work.
Exactly.
So I really respect the way that he plays that game. And don't get me wrong, he stays safe a lot. But, like, that grab right there, if that doesn't hit, that Peach is going to fuck you up.
Yes.
And he just knew. You know, I think the Peach has been able to spot dodge one grab this entire set, and they're okay. He finally misses the second one, and look, he just dies.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you have to realize just how important this is. Another down smash. I can't believe that was like the tip of her toe that got hit.
And this is really, oh my goodness, that spacing though.
Yeah, reads the spot dodge, waits for it. He was actionable earlier. He actually held out for a couple frames before he threw out that down smash, and that's how he's able to get the hit. Peach expecting the grab, HugS waiting just long enough for the spot dodges to end in order to find it. Oh man, HugS really putting on a performance right now. And you know, I don't think Pierre is playing bad. Like I think he's doing a lot of really good stuff to keep it close. It's just Hugo's just got such a good read on what he wants to do. It looks really tough.
Something that has been pointed out to me like quite recently is just that one thing that Pure is kind of missing is like some of the DIs on like off down throw.
Oh really?
Like just into a kill setup, because like there's like because you can probably just DI away out of it and then like, you know, not take like the follow up after.
I see.
But it's like those things where it's just like it's the thing where he might not have the knowledge, and just that alone is enough. Like giving Samus an extra kill option in this matchup, I feel like will hurt him a lot.
Yeah. There's just so many little things in this game. If you're not, you're playing one of those top players that has them all, and you just don't. You're missing one or two, and all of a sudden, bam, you're done.
Yes.
So it's tough. HugS takes it with a quick 2-0. Pure seems a little bit disappointed. I thought he played really well there. I don't think there's anything to shake your head about. Hopefully he can go back and,
Yeah, look and learn from it.
Do a little research.
I'm sure just based off how like close game 1 was looking, and like he thought to himself like I feel like that I feel like I can show how good I am against this top player, but it just ended up not working out. And I'm sure like no matter how